I really wanted to like this one. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I apologize for not putting out more book reviews as of late. I have several filmed, I just haven't edited them. But here we are, we're back with a new book review, Claimed by the Yakuza by Ariel London. I posted a request for authors to send me their work on the romance authors subreddit, and Ariel responded with her new book, and I was excited to give it a chance, give it a read and review it. So let's get into the details. Like I said, the author is Ariel London. It is self-published on Amazon. There will be a link in the description if you'd like to go purchase it. It's a romance novella. It is contemporary. It's set in contemporary Japan. It was published August 11th, 2016, and I got a PDF copy. I don't have a copy with the cover, but you should be able to see the cover over here. I should have put it in, hopefully. But yeah, I have the PDF on my Kindle, and it's about 70 pages in a PDF, which is probably about 30,000 words, give or take, so it's a good sized novella. The main characters are Kenichi Himura and Cassandra Haynes. Kenichi has recently become the head of his Yakuza gang, clan type thing after his father was killed by a rival gang. And Cassandra has recently graduated from college, and she has traveled to Japan and is working as an assistant English teacher. So basically that's kind of the main plot. Kenichi is out for revenge, and he also wants to expand his business though into America, and in order to do that, he feels like he and the rest of his gang need to be able to speak better English. They kind of remember some of their English from high school because most high schoolers in Japan, I think all high schoolers in Japan, have to take a certain number of years of English. And so he runs into Cassandra. She loses her ID card. He sees that she's an English teacher, and since he finds her hot, why not kill two birds with one stone and hire her as his English teacher? So the main premise was really interesting, well, I mean, as interesting as it can be, oh, he's a Yakuza, and it's like, ooh, he's gonna take this innocent person and, hire her to teach English, and maybe she won't know what's going on. Unfortunately, as interesting as the concept is, it is not executed well, unfortunately, and I I really wanted to like this one. I thought that it had a lot of potential, and it just went downhill very quickly. Kind of my main gripe with this started early and it continued throughout. There's a very definite lack of common sense with the characters that you would expect to see. Um, there is, I guess, a news story about the Yakuza, and that this one guy's father died and that he's the new head of this Yakuza gang. For some reason, I don't know. I don't know how it's depicted in Japan, how it actually happens with Yakuza, but I'm thinking, like, why would they even know this? Why would the news know who these people are, really? Or at least, what's going on? But, suspend my disbelief. That's fine. But her friend recognizes that this guy is a Yakuza and mentions this to Cassandra, and yet she allows him to take her home in his car by herself. And she agrees to give him and his gang English lessons, knowing that he's a Yakuza. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm a single white female in Japan, and the Yakuza are known for being involved in the sex trade. Am I going to go off by my lonesome with some guy I don't know? All I know is that he's a Yakuza. Am I going to do that? Well, if you're Cassandra, you are, because you're stupid. And that is kind of where it all goes downhill. She, knows he's a Yakuza, and then yeah, I don't remember if, I think she sees him kill somebody, or like at first she hears that he has killed somebody, and then he has to protect her and he kills somebody, and she's okay with it. Like, it doesn't bother her. And then the facets of his business aren't really brought up, I think specifically to avoid the ugliness. Supposedly he says, well, his gang is more into the more legitimate businesses like hostess clubs and things like that. But the main business in America is getting into drugs, which is touched on once and then never spoken of again about what business they're trying to do in America with the American Yakuza gangs. Apparently there's, I mean, I understand there's probably Yakuza who live in America and there's activity, but they don't go into what the business is, and Cassandra is perfectly okay with this. She has no qualms whatsoever. That gets into the next problem I have, is that the characters have no characterization at all. Kenichi's only point of characterization is that he is out for revenge for his father. That's it. And Cassandra has nothing. Cassandra is, I am new to Japan, but not even that. Like, it's not even, there's not, that's like touched on very, like a sentence, a couple sentences, like she's new to Japan and like, ooh, this stuff is interesting. And that's about it. She doesn't have any internal, justification of what Kenichi is doing, saying, oh my goodness, can I even be with this guy who kills people, who is into this life? There's no discussion of, hey, can you leave this life? Because I can't be with you. No, there's none of that. It's, and I understand it's a novella. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be short and maybe fun, but it doesn't, the premise doesn't set it up to be light and fun. It's a revenge story, supposedly, which does happen, but, it doesn't really work as, short and fun. It's like, oh, revenge. Along with the characters having no personalities and the lack of common sense, which crops up a lot in this novella. There should have been a lot more. This storyline would have been suited to a full-size romance novel. There should have been a lot more exploration of first of the character personalities. Take a bit more time for them before they meet each other, or, figure out this arrangement for English lessons, and figure out, how are we going to go about killing this guy, killing the rival gang leader who killed his father, having to do a lot of this. Because the story kind of halts with the romance and then just goes to the revenge parts and then switches back to the romance, and it kind of goes like that. And then Cassandra gets kidnapped and it all comes to a head. Don't even get me started on her getting kidnapped. She never should have gotten kidnapped. Or if she did, not the way she was kidnapped when she was visiting him at his condo. He wasn't there. But I'm like, he's a Yakuza gang leader. Yeah, it's a small gang. It has like 100 people. But I'm like, his condo, his building, they would have men on his building. Or they would have men on her. Because his gang knows that she is his lady. And so, more lack of common sense, and it drives you crazy. I feel like there might not have been quite as much research done on all the Japanese stuff as there could have been. Like, I am definitely a fan of Japanese stuff. If you can see, I have manga and I watch anime and all that stuff. And I watch a lot of J-bloggers and things like that. And I feel like the knowledge that was in here was kind of the knowledge that I have just from cursory, like, watching things like that. I wanted more information about the Yakuza and their habits and things like that, because I was taking some certain things on faith, but I felt like I would never want to, I could never really trust that this was real, real information, real anything, and so it kind of bothered me a little bit. So there were a couple things I did like, as much as I'm harping on what I didn't like. What I do appreciate is that the author does know how to construct a story, and they're definitely on the right track as far as getting everything up to snuff. I reviewed a self-published romance novel last time. It was my last new book review, and that person wasn't even up to any kind of standards for publishing or anything, and they shouldn't have been publishing it. This just needs refinement. This would be a good first draft. Kind of. It's almost there. It's not quite good enough, but it's almost there, and I appreciate that. And I know this person has definitely read novels before, knows how to construct stuff, and we'll get there eventually. I just think that this is not up there yet. I think that it needed to go through a couple more rounds of beta reading, maybe, or maybe like a couple of revisions to get to be at a higher level. but it's not horrible, and I appreciate that. I did not want to gouge my eyes out, and I really, really, really appreciate that. It was a quick read, which was really nice. The love scenes, there was quite a bit of sex. I think there were four full sex scenes, and there were like some kissing scenes. And in a book that's like 70 pages long, or on PDF, that's not bad. And they were decent. Again, this person has read romance novels. This person has probably had sex before and knows how to write about it. You know, they've read, they've done some research. You know, they can construct a good sex scene. So I appreciated that. So the sex was decent. I think, again, I think a lot of these flaws in this novel are just from it maybe inexperience. Just writing, not having written a ton of stuff necessarily. I don't know how much she's actually written. She does have another novella for sale on Amazon, and I haven't seen anything else from her, but she may have written some other things. I think just some more writing and some more reading will really get her to where she needs to be. I don't think that this is awful. It's only 99 cents. And I mean, seriously, if you're looking for like kind of a mindless time with some sex in it, go right ahead. Oh, one last critique. I do feel like this was set up more, this would have been better suited to be an erotica had she shortened some things up with the story and gone into more detail with the sex. It's more, the story is more suited for an erotica because you can get away with like lack of character personalities in erotica. Just do like add more sex in there, just do wham bam, get into the nitty gritty and do some more, more of the sex and less of the story. I think it would have worked better as an erotica. This is marketed as a dark romance kind of a thing, and it's not that. It really should be if it wants to be romance, it should be fleshed out more, a lot more with the characters. If she wants to keep more of the story itself, double down on the fact that it'll probably be erotica. Oh, last thing, I actually liked the cover. I was actually really surprised. She sent me, I think I already mentioned this, but she sent me a picture of the cover, and I liked it. It was really nice and professional looking. Like, it looks like either she got somebody to make, she actually paid somebody to make it, or she did just a really good job of making it. So I appreciate that. That was a really nice cover that will catch people's eyes, and since it's only 99 cents, and it's also free for Kindle Unlimited, she'll get some people who buy it and read it and rent it and everything like that. So that's not bad. On a scale, there's 4 love scenes. I would say it's probably about a 5. Maybe it would be higher if I like the story. A little bit higher if I like the story. It got sex in it. It's decent sex. But yeah, it's about 5. It's like kind of average, sexy wise. And the overall rating is a D minus. And that's because it had good sex in it. If it did not have good sex in it, it would be an F. It does not work very well at all as a romance novella, and it needs a lot of work, but it has potential. So if you would like to check it out for yourself, there is a link in the description. It's, like I said, it's only 99 cents, so it's really cheap. If you have Kindle Unlimited, it is free. And she also has another novella for free on Amazon, so you can go ahead and check that out as well. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I will attempt to get my other ones up as soon as I can. They are terrible book cover reviews, so there isn't really a rush on them. I feel like I get things out more quickly if I do new book reviews because I want to get them out in a timely fashion. But yeah, those should be forthcoming shortly, hopefully. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I will see you next time.